Today we will be doing an oil change on a 2020 Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero, also known as a VN1700, using the factory racing parts oil change kit. Tools that we will be using are a 17mm socket and an oil filter socket, ratchet as well. We have rags and a drain pan, and then the kit will come with a new oil filter and some new drain bolt washers, 2 of them for this bike. And then this bike takes 5.3 quarts of oil, which I have here in our container. So I've already got this bike up in the air and warmed up. We'll go ahead and get the drain bolts out next. Okay, our next step will be to remove both of our drain bolts. These are on the left side of the bike, right behind the side stand. And as we remove our drain bolts, we want to make sure that we get our drain bolt washers as well. Okay. We'll go ahead and let that drain. Now that our oil is finished draining, we're going to go ahead and replace both of our drain bolts. Again, making sure that we've got our new drain bolt washers on there. And I always like to point out that drain bolt washers do 2 things. One, they obviously seal. They are a soft aluminum metal, but they also act as a torque cushion. As you're tightening down that drain bolt, you'll feel that washer kind of collapse a little bit. And when you start to feel that, that's a good stopping point. Right there. Okay, we'll go ahead and get our oil filter swapped out next. Okay, the next step will be to replace our oil filter. I've already installed our oil filter socket on the oil filter. And go ahead and get our 3/8 ratchet up in there and get it loose. And I have our new factory racing parts oil filter, which I've filled with oil, and I've lubricated this top O-ring. I'm going to go ahead and install that. And anytime I'm installing a new oil filter like this, where I can get a nice grip on it, I like to take some brake clean, which I have here on this rag. And then just get that as snug as you can by hand. Okay. Now next we will fill up our engine with oil. Okay, I've added our 5.3 quarts of oil. We're going to go ahead and check the oil prior to running it. Now, the proper way to check the oil on this bike is to fully insert or to fully thread in the dipstick. So I've done that. We're going to pull it out now and see where we're at. Okay, so you can see that this is well past the line. It's pretty much up to the shaved portion of the dipstick there, and that's fine because we still have yet to start the engine and let it circulate. That oil filter will soak up some of that oil. So we're going to go ahead and start the engine now, and then we'll go ahead and check it after that and see how close to that top line. Okay, I've given the bike a few minutes to settle down after I ran the engine. So we're going to go ahead and get our final oil check here. Again, we had to thread that all the way in. And we can see here that our oil level is just below the top of those hash marks. So I have a little bit of oil left in my container over here that I'll add, and that should bring us right up to where we need to be. So there you have it, a oil change on a 2020 Kawasaki Vulcan Vaquero using the factory racing parts oil change kit. Thank you.